Born Before 64 is a TV show that asks the vital question, what will we do for the rest of our lives? Kathryn Raaker hosts a show for baby boomers and above, inviting real people to tell real stories about overcoming issues, about facing with courage and triumph the significant obstacles many of us face every day. So let's join Kathryn Raaker for Born Before 64.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of Born Before 64, and we are in Tel Aviv in Israel, and we are going to find out the story of my roots of my Jewish family. And we're here with the director at the museum, the Jewish Family Museum.
Yes, this is the Museum of the Jewish Diaspora. It's not the Jewish Diaspora anymore, it's the Museum of the Jewish People.
And you are Anya?
I'm Anya Kupfer, the Director of European and Israel Desk of the Museum,
Right.
External Relations and Fundraising, and I'm very happy to welcome you.
Thank you so very
And
much.
I'm sure we'll find all your roots because we have here a wonderful section about roots. It's called Database Center, and I'm sure Chaim Guzali, who is the director of this section, will find everything you want.
I can't thank you enough for welcoming me. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous museum. And we're going to also do the story of diaspora. Is that true?
Yes, it's the story of the Jewish people, not only the diaspora, also the story of the Jews in Israel. So for the time being, the permanent exhibition is an exhibition about the story of 2,500 years of Jewish history. But we are building now a new core exhibition, and it will tell the story of 4,000 years of Jewish history from the time of Abraham, from the Bible. So when you come within 3-4 years, you will see the new core museum. For the moment, it's 2,500 years.
Thank you so very much.
And we are very happy that now you are part of the story.
All right.
This is our new motto, you are part of the story, and I'm happy to have you here.
All right.
And to know that you are part of the story.
Now let me ask you a question. You're going to introduce me to Harm?
To Chaim
Chaim?
Guzali, who is the director of the database. We have here a database about Jewish communities, about Jewish families. We have films about Jewish history, Jewish communities, Jewish personalities. You will see everything. Chaim will tell you everything about it. He is the expert.
All right. And I want to thank you so very much for welcoming me. And I will definitely come back for the new exhibition.
Okay.
And thank you so very, very
And
much.
I hope I will be here to
Well, you will.
welcome you again.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will.
Okay.
And we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Hiram.
Okay.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
The odds of a child becoming a professional golfer? 1 in 140,000. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 150. You know the odds of autism. Now learn the signs. Go to autismspeaks.org.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker, and we're back, and we are now with the head of the data center.
Right.
And his name is Chaim Guzali. And we're trying to find the roots of my family from the Lynn side of the family. And we're here to search for my genealogy, right?
Right.
Right.
So,
Tell me a little bit about how the data center started and what's happening.
well, this is the databases of Museum of the Jewish People, Betatfutzot in Tel
Right.
Aviv. The
Right.
genealogy center was established some 27 years ago by Mr. Douglas Goldman of San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
And we now are by far the largest and most important repository of Jewish genealogy in Israel, and along with Jewish Gen in the States, the two main repository of Jewish genealogy anywhere in the world.
Wow.
We are boasting now millions of names.
Right.
Family Jews from all over the world are sending their families. Most of our data is actually user-generated content. We started that back in the 80s. We are continuing daily. Only this morning we add 2 new family trees, one from the States, from Oklahoma City, and the other one from Israel. And more are being added daily. And not only family trees, but also photographs, films, the stories
Right.
of communities, music, biographies, and total 9 different types of content.
That's unbelievable. Now, we're starting for the search of my family, and my great-grandfather, David, actually was born in the United States, and he had 2 sides to his family. One was Pearl, and the other was Lynn's. And actually, he probably, the family name, probably was from the city that his family was from.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be.
And he was from either Linz, Austria or Linz, Germany.
Yeah, could be.
Right, could be. So what would be the first thing I would do to search for this part of my family?
In our database.
That's right, in your
Okay.
database.
So I suggest you to conduct a general search.
Right.
Please type Linz
Okay, just a minute.
and search, please. And we get results from all our types of content. So I have results from personalities, family names, communities, photographs, and family trees. So you may decide perhaps to see the meaning of family names or stories of communities or to see photographs.
How about
But in-
photographs?
Yes, please.
Let's
go
try
ahead.
photographs.
So I have here photographs from Linz in Austria.
Wow, let's try that one.
You may enlarge the photograph.
This one right here, make
Yes.
it larger.
Okay. And see the other photograph. These are children of Blau Weiß. That was a Jewish youth movement in Austria, and the photograph was taken in Linz in Austria in 1933.
Wow.
This is one of some more than 80,000 photographs already scanned and included in this database.
Oh, wow.
Some other 400,000 are waiting in line to be digitized.
Oh, like
and
to be digitized. Now,
Yes.
if I digitize this photograph for you and
Yes.
send it to you, then you'll have it, right?
Of course.
And
We'll be
as
very-
as
we'll
we
be very
find
grateful.
more,
Much of our content is actually user-generated content. So we
Wow.
receive material, photographs, movies, family trees, biographies from Jewish families from all over the world.
oh, that's unbelievable. Now, if I want to go and see
Back to results, please.
back to results, I'm going to move the family here. Hold on a
Again.
second.
Yeah.
Let's put them here.
And back to results again.
Back to results.
And now we might search family trees, please.
Family tree. Okay.
Family trees, please. And here we have a list of 78 78 different individuals
Uh-huh.
listed in our database
Right.
under the family name Linz, the way
Okay.
you spell it.
The way I spelled it.
Right.
So
And,
if I wanted to look back in history to one of these names, if I didn't know, I could go to
You may click on any
anybody.
name, yes.
Anybody. Let's try Sophie's.
You may select more than 3 generations
Where was this?
here.
Here?
Yes, please.
Let's go back
Let's
to
see
7.
7, right. And now you have a larger family tree. Going back to the 19th century, there's the middle of the 19th century in Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see.
Let's look at all of it.
And click on one of these names. Perhaps there is more information.
This one?
this one or the other one. It's up to you to decide. On the name itself, please.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So we already reached the 18th century. And we see here a large family coming from Germany, from different places. They lived in small communities in Hessen, which is central Germany. Frankfurt is located.
Right.
Am Main is located in
Right.
Hessen.
Right.
It's part of.
So that gives you an idea of where.
Yeah, you may also click on this, please.
On this one?
No, here, please.
That one?
No, here, please.
Oh, there. Okay.
So if more information is available, it will be shown here. I mean, some the family trees have long biographies and also photographs.
Oh, wow.
Well, these people lived before the age of photography, but modern family trees add family photographs as well.
Right. So get out of here.
Yes.
And then if we wanted to go into marriage.
No? This is a legend expanding with the meaning of the icons.
Okay.
But this is a marriage, for instance. It says exactly where these people got married. In a place. Yes, in Hessen, in Germany. They married in 1818.
Wow.
Almost 200 years ago.
That's unbelievable. So each one of these are different parts of the family tree.
These are siblings of this lady.
Of this lady right here.
You may select another one. Just click on other name, please. And you see other parts of the family.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Go this way, please. Now from here.
From here? Okay.
Yes. And you see the beginning of a family here in 1715.
Wow.
Almost 300 years ago. Let us try perhaps there is more.
Which one here?
Yes. Okay, so now what I told you, we have here more information about this person.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Man, there's someone who lived in early 18th century.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rebecca. Click on this name, please. No, on the name itself, please. Okay. So these are the limits of this family tree from late 17th century.
Wow. You can go all the way back then. That's unbelievable. Yeah. And look at it. Wow. It goes all the way down to modern day.
Yes. So I suggested to go back to results and to select someone closer to us.
Hold on a minute. Okay, so we're now back at the beginning. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if I couldn't find it, I'd have to have more information.
Right.
Right? So that would be part of it, right? But the museum itself that we're in right now is more family concentrated, and what I've seen, and we're going to walk around for a minute and shows everything from the beginning till today, present day. So that was the idea of the museum.
Right.
Was more family and community. Am I right?
Right, because these are the nucleus of the Jewish existence over the last 2,000 years.
Right.
A people that lived dispersed in many communities all over the world, and family life was by far the most important, and then the community life.
Right.
Because a Jew can't be a Jew, can't have a Jewish life unless he lives in a community.
Right.
So Jews all over the world did their best to establish communities.
Right.
Very small communities, but nevertheless a community.
Right.
And of course, family life.
Family life. So this would be, and so since we researched before a little bit, and we found that that I need to get more information to send to you, and I will scan pictures of our family and I will send them to you, and you're going to actually take them and put them into the museum or into the computer, into the database. Oh.
So next time, your next visit, you'll
be able to see some of the people that
many others do.
That I can find. Right. So let's go look at some of the other parts of the museum. Do you mind?
Of course.
Okay. So we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back on Kathryn Raaker's Born Before 64.
How do you convince a 14-year-old girl that hair doesn't matter? when the diagnosis is childhood cancer. Where can parents turn? CureSearch.org can help. It's run by doctors and scientists whose research has led to an overall cure rate of 78%. You're not as alone as you feel.
Recycling a glass bottle saves enough energy to run the TV you're watching for 1 full hour. Recycle. It's the everyday way to save the world.
I was hanging out with some people. Now I realize I shouldn't have.
The work was so hard. It was just going fast, fast, fast.
I got kicked out of school, and nobody cared about me, so I don't care.
I sort of got messed up into gangs and other stuff. School was very difficult.
I was expelled from school.
I mean, the one person who really got me to go back into school was my friend Kevin.
At my friend's graduation, I'm going to be the loudest one there.
Because if you don't have anybody while you're in school, then there's not really a way to get through it.
We're back with Chaim, and you're going to explain to us on Born Before 64 the different synagogues of the past, right? And Newport, Rhode Island is in the United States. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is a national monument in the United States in Newport, Rhode Island, the oldest synagogue in the States. It was established in the 18th century, before the establishment of the United States, by Jews who went to this country because of the tolerance that they could not enjoy in other parts of New World. I mean, in Caribs and South America, where they were persecuted by the Inquisition and the Spanish colonial regime.
Who established the genealogy center here in Israel?
The genealogy center of Bet HaTfutzot was established by Mr. Douglas E. Goldman of San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Back in the 80s.
In the 1980s.
At the time, it was the first Jewish genealogy center anywhere in the world.
Oh, wow. That's
and the first who started storing family trees in a digital format.
Okay. All right.
We are the first in the Jewish world, and probably among the first 5 anywhere in the world.
Right.
Back in the 80s.
So let's walk over to the next one that's in the United States, and this was done by Frank Lloyd Wright, I think.
Right.
Am I correct?
Right.
I'm beginning to know my history here. Okay.
Yeah, this is a synagogue in Elkins Park in Pennsylvania.
Uh-huh.
A masterpiece of architecture. The only synagogue designed by the architect, and the only synagogue with a parking lot in Bet HaTfutzot.
A what? Say that again now?
The only synagogue with a parking lot in Bet HaTfutzot.
Oh, wow.
No, this is important because this is a conservative synagogue.
Conservative synagogue.
Yes.
Go ahead.
And people may choose to travel, to drive to the synagogue on holidays, something that is not allowed to Orthodox Jews, any other synagogues shown in this exhibition.
Okay. Why don't we go and see some of the other countries that are involved in the actual exhibit, because they're so beautiful. I just want to walk past and let them see them, okay? Chaim, would you tell us what this is? Is a ceiling? Go ahead.
Yes, please. This is a reconstruction of the ceiling of a wooden synagogue in Chodorov, Galicia, once part of Poland, before that of Austria, and now in Western Ukraine. It was done in early 18th century, and is one of the few examples that survived, based and was reconstructed based on photographs and descriptions. The synagogue itself was destroyed in the Holocaust by the Germans in 1942. And what you see here, it's a good example of Jewish folklore art, depicting themes from Jewish folklore, and also interpretations of Hebrew text and prayer books. You may see that there are no human figures anywhere because of the prohibition in Judaism of showing humans. There are only examples of fauna and flora. And the buildings that you see just in front of us and look very much like Russian churches.
They do.
They represent Jerusalem. This
Jerusalem.
is the Eastern Wall. People who prayed here never went to Jerusalem, had no idea how actually Jerusalem looked like, but in their minds this was Jerusalem, and this is the way they prayed Eastern Wall towards Jerusalem.
Wow, that's gorgeous. The colors are so vibrant. I can't
Yes.
believe it.
Yes. This is the oldest synagogue in Europe that has not been changed. It
Mhm.
looks like a medieval synagogue.
Mhm.
And of course, this is a famous, the synagogue linked to the famous legend of the Golem of Prague, who, according to tradition, lived in the attic of this synagogue.
Now, why is everything below and not above?
Because Jews were not allowed to build higher buildings than churches.
Okay.
And on the other hand, Jews were required to have higher synagogues. So what they did, they dig, and from the outside, the building was not higher than the churches.
Right.
And from the inside was higher.
Okay.
So they
looked older. Okay.
Opened the psalms and start praying the profundis from the abyss, we called you, and so on and so on.
Okay. All right. You want to go on? We're now looking at a synagogue from India.
Yeah, it's called Paradesi Synagogue, and it is in southern state of Kerala, in southwestern India.
Mm-hmm.
It was built in the 16th century.
Wow.
Yes, and it's still in use.
Still used. It's still in existence.
Yes, of course. And if by chance you travel to this place, you may enter the synagogue, visit, and of course, pray there.
That's absolutely the most gorgeous piece. And you can see all of the tiny chandeliers. I mean, they all look like that.
Yes.
Right?
And the floor is made of china ware brought from China itself.
From China itself. Okay. We'll be right back in just a moment when we will go around and see some of the most beautiful parts of the museum and the history of the family unit.
Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey, Mark.
Hey.
Where have you been?
I lost my cat.
Oh, that's not right.
Yeah, so I made this cat magnet to try and get him back.
Cool. Does it work?
Kinda.
Nice.
Yeah, but that's not my cat. Gotta keep working on it. See ya.
See ya.
Anything's possible. Keep thinking. Get started on your own inventions or just play some games at inventnow.org.
Welcome home, man.
We're back on Born Before 64. Can you tell us, Herm, where we are looking now? Is this Toledo?
Yes, this is a fragment from a synagogue today called El Tránsito. It is located in Toledo, in Spain. What you see, it's a part of the eastern wall of the synagogue. It was established in the 14th century as a private synagogue by Samuel Abulafia, a Jew living in Toledo, a wealthy Jew. He used to be a treasurer for the King of Castile. And unfortunately, he was sent to the prison by the king and died in prison. His synagogue was sequestered by the Catholic Church and turned into a church. Today is a museum, and anyone visiting Toledo may see this
beautiful piece
of architecture. You may see the Hebrew inscriptions along with Arabic inscriptions. The Hebrew inscriptions are based on Hebrew text, but the Arabic was a language actually spoken by the Jews of Toledo and the language of research and philosophy in the 14th century. Also, they already lived under Christian rule.
Okay.
And that was wonderful. It was a coexistence of three different cultures: Jewish,
Right.
Muslim, and Christian.
That's right. And I used to live in Spain, by the way, so I got to see this beautiful building. Right.
This is one of the two synagogues still existing in Toledo.
In
The
Toledo.
other one is La Blanca,
Right. La Blanca.
which also we have a model in this museum.
Okay. We're here at the synagogue of the Amsterdam in Holland. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. This is a synagogue established in Amsterdam by Jews who went to the Netherlands, escaping persecutions in Spain and Portugal. And in Holland, they were allowed to build this huge synagogue. At the time, it was the largest synagogue anywhere in the world. And it is still there, and it's very impressive. Even today, there is no electricity inside this building. They use candles. And you may also see the way they sit. This is custom typical for Jews of Holland.
Mhm.
They are not sitting one after the other, but one in front of the other.
Okay.
And it is a Sephardic synagogue. It is called the Portuguese synagogue.
The Portuguese synagogue.
And you see the Holy Ark on one side to the
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
and the Bima, the place where the Torah is read, on the left side.
Right.
And in the middle, the whole rows, and the women section, the first row, the first stage.
Okay. This is just absolutely beautiful. And this is still there.
Yes, of course.
This is still here in Holland.
Yes,
Okay.
this is part of the Jewish Museum of Amsterdam.
Right.
Along with the Ashkenazi synagogue just across the street and the museum
Mhm.
itself.
Wow.
In central Amsterdam, Holland.
And all in candles light.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Okay. Hiram, can you tell me where this is from originally?
Yeah, this is in Florence, Italy.
In Italy.
Yeah, this is Sephardi again synagogue in Florence, Italy. It was established in the late 19th century, and it is one of the highest buildings in central Florence. So next time you visit Florence, Italy, pay attention to the cupola. You may see it from anywhere in the city.
You can see it anywhere in the city because of the dome, am I right?
Yes, this is very high.
Very
It's
high.
Very high. It is very impressive. And it gives you a good example of the situation of the Jews in Italy. After they got the emancipation, they have equal rights, so they may
Right.
build their synagogues in very high buildings, not like in medieval times when they were compelled to build synagogues in small buildings and to hide them, actually.
Right. Now we're going to look at an example after this one of where they hid the synagogue. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And you couldn't even tell it was a synagogue unless you saw the inside of it.
Right.
Right. And where is that synagogue?
In Fez, in Morocco.
In Morocco. And I've been to Morocco, and so I didn't get to see the synagogue when I was there. Is it still in existence?
Yes, it is.
It
was
is.
renovated recently, actually.
Just recently? Okay. We're now in front of the synagogue.
Ibn Danan Synagogue in Fez, Morocco.
Okay. All right. Tell us a little bit about
First of all, please see the entrance, which is right here.
Okay.
You can't see it unless someone is telling you where the entrance is located, because the synagogue was built many centuries ago.
Okay.
And Jews were afraid not to be seen going to the synagogue all the time, so they did it very modestly in a small building, and you can hardly say from outside that there is a synagogue inside at all.
Right.
You see the interior, which is typical for synagogues in North Africa. It's a Sephardi synagogue. You see the Holy Ark on the left, and the chairs in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And
they weren't facing each other, were they? They
yes,
were.
right. This is a custom in Northern Africa.
Can you tell us, Harim, what this represents? The synagogue.
This is a model of the second synagogue in Toledo, Spain. It is called La Blanca.
Okay.
The white, because you can see the color. It
Right.
was built by the Jewish community of Toledo during medieval times, probably in the 14th century.
Right.
And it's a very nice example of Mudehar art. I mean, the Muslim art as it was used in Spain, even under Christian rule.
Wow.
The synagogue building was turned into a church by the Catholic Church, by the Inquisition.
Right.
After the Jews left Spain.
Mm-hmm.
And today it's a museum. So when you come to Toledo,
I need to
make
go
sure you
there.
visit.
Right. I'll have to visit it. Can you tell me what it says faith here? So is this the way that the Jews have prayed for years and years and centuries?
Yes, this is actually what's happening in a synagogue every morning.
Every morning?
There's a prayer in public, and the prayer must be with at least 10 men. So you can see the 10th just entering the synagogue.
Okay.
And everything is free, everything is liberal, everyone can pray alone. There is no need of intermediary, everyone prays exactly the same way, the same prayer books, and of course the same God.
Okay.
And there is no need for some ritual, but everyone knows the rules, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Okay. That's a beautiful exhibit. Hiram, can you tell me what this is? Is this the Torah?
Scroll.
Scroll.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
A part of the scroll.
Yes, you can see it's part of it.
And how old is this scroll? Do you know?
This example is about 120 years old. And
Okay.
it was written in Morocco in late 19th century.
Right. And you write, when you write in Hebrew, do you go from right to left?
Right.
Am I correct?
From right to left.
Okay. And so this is an example. Is this an actual replica?
No, this is original.
This is the original. This is not a replica.
No, it is
Right.
original.
This is beautiful. And can you tell us what this one is, especially? About a journey?
Nothing special about it. It looks just any other Torah scroll everywhere in the world. This particular Torah scroll is not in use any longer.
Okay.
It's not fit for reading in a synagogue.
Right.
Because this is some damage that has been done.
Right.
And that's the reason we have it here in the museum.
Okay, that makes sense.
And anyone can read freely the Hebrew text. Va'omer Hashem el Moshe, and God said to Moses. This is right here in the middle.
I can't thank you enough for taking me back in time and back to the future with my family. And I'll still be doing the journey of the searching for my family tree, but we will come back when we have more information, and we'll send you some pictures and information on our family for the museum. Thank you so very much. Pleasure. And we'll be back on Born Before 64, and thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Born Before 64 with Kathryn Raaker.